Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon, and this is the Supernatural Show, the show that is not for entertainment purposes only. And today we have a title of the show of "And So It Begins," and you can probably see if I go here for a moment where that came from, kind of. Today when I was deciding what to do for a title for the show and subject matter, because doing so many shows, believe it or not, it can be a little challenging as to, what should you do with everything? What should you call this show? What should you do? So before the show, I was pondering what to do, and there's some things with this show, the Supernatural Show, that are going to be improving and going to be changing in the coming near weeks, maybe months at the most. Well, probably forever, but some specific changes, okay? And I'll be explaining more about that in the near future. But I was thinking about those changes, and so I was thinking about a new phase beginning or something like that. But I was sitting there kind of quiet, pondering, almost praying what I should call the show today. And I heard that little quiet voice that's not mine in my head, and it said, "And so it begins." Now, I listen to that little voice when it comes in sometimes. And I said, "And so it begins." So what I did, I said, okay. So because if I'm gonna use that as a title, I then need to create an image of some kind to use as a thumbnail. And so I ran a search. As you can see right here, I ran a search. And so it begins. And right out the gate, all of a sudden, and I had no idea about this, but apparently yesterday, Mr. T said, "And so it begins." And of course, they love to take his catchphrases like that and go with it and promote it in every newspaper or online article thing that you can find. They run with it, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is because it's MAGA. If you know, you know. And so I said, wow, that is very interesting, that it's right there, the title that I chose, and obviously some additional subject matter that we could talk about today. And we're going to get into that and talk about what all that might mean, because it's deeper than you or even I know. But first, let's recognize everybody that's here. Like we've got, let's see here, who all do we have? We've got a bunch of people in the chat. Of course, the Super Dave himself is here with us. Thank you, Super Dave. Mr. Mike Smith, aka Super Mike, is here as well. And as you can see, Miss Kim is in the chat. Miss Kim is here with us. And we have a bunch of you guys here. We've got Robin back here again. Hello, Robin. And thank you for everything you've done to contribute as well. Super Dave, if Robin does not have a wrench yet, can you give her one? And the same thing goes with Carol. If they don't have a wrench, a moderation wrench, could you give them one, please, sir? And same thing with NavOps. Okay. NavOps 1067. Kind of like as we get to really know somebody that's been here get them on the team a little bit further, okay? So I see all y'all guys here, and I'm very grateful that you're here today. And of course, today Roxy is not able to be, she wasn't able to be here today. She's just got some things that's important to take care of. She's taking care of them, but she'll be back on Monday, and also on her channel, which is the Roxy Files. But we do have the honor of having Miss Shannon here with us today, our co-host also. And Shannon is with, her YouTube channel is called Children of the Most High. Children of the Most High. And we have the honor of having her here with us again. We've been blessed to have her with us now for like 2.5 years. So, Shannon, what in the supernatural is going on with you? Wow. Mm. Shannon, I apologize. Somehow let me get it fixed. Somehow your link has changed again. So let me, okay, I'll just start making it a practice of, I mean, really it's my fault. And it's nobody's fault. There is no fault here, but what it is they couldn't hear you, and that is because, well, let me look here, but basically, I think the link has changed. And me being the director, I should have already checked that. And I'm the only one that has the ability to do it, so it's my responsibility, and I apologize for that, Shannon.
That's okay.
There you go. Now they can hear you. So now back up to where you started talking about hearing a knocking or something.
Yes, so Roxy and I, last night before our show on Children of the Most High, we were hanging out talking, and as she's trying to show me how to do something on our streaming site, I hear what sound like footsteps and thumping in my wall right next to me, which, mind you, right next to me is just an empty bathroom, and there was no one in the house. So I get up to look and see what's going on, and Roxy said it was just going nuts the whole time I was gone, so she could hear it too. And finally, at one point, I just rebuked it in the name of Jesus, and it quit doing that.
Oh.
And mind you, while all that is happening, she says her usual greeting to me, "Hello, Governor." And I say, "Hello, Governor." And Grok turns back on and starts going off on a bunch of ridiculous tangent stuff as it has done previously, but basically tells us that "hello, governor" is some kind of trigger word or phrase for this thing to just start talking and saying things. So that was what what the supernatural
So that's what
was
the
going
supernatural's
on.
been going on, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say hello to up north of the 49th. You've known me and I've known you for a long time, and I'm glad to see you here. And would enjoy communicating with you more. I see Flowers in the Attic is here as well. And we got Triple X, Triple Six, Quadruple X saying hello. That's a very interesting YouTube channel choice. But you're certainly welcome. We're glad to see you here. Yeah. Up north says, in conversation with the computer engineer, I argued there is a ghost in the machine when it comes to AI chats. He said he has no idea how it could be so. It is a machine of something else. I think probably got cut off or either something, but this world indeed is extremely more supernatural than we realize. You see, when you realize, just share something real quick and then we're going to get to the main subject, start talking about it here in a moment. But see, Revelations talks about a beast rising out of the sea. And the interesting thing about that is that the sea is made up of a lot of things, but it has an abundance of sand or silicon, okay, or silica. And all of these computers that these AIs run on are made out of silicone. All of the boards and everything they build all of this on is made out of sand. Now, most of the sand or the silica that is used actually, from what I understand, does not come out of the ocean. It comes out of, actually, strangely enough, North Carolina. There is an area up there in North Carolina. I was trying to remember the name of it, but it's where they get the majority of the silicon or silica in order to make the silicone. And so that they can make all these MAGA boards. I mean, somebody wrote Ouija board, and yeah, basically we're messing with Ouija boards in a way. And you can use them for good, which we're attempting to do those things. But this stuff, this beast, because it is a beast. A beast is anything of great power. And I would ask you, does the internet have great power? Does it present the opportunity for doing good or bad? It does. Same thing with the television and all types of media, especially transmission radiated media, like from cell towers, communication towers, radar. It's all invisible when it comes to that stuff, yet it's real. It's supernatural. So
if I may interject for a moment,
you may.
We have an amazing friend, David, also known as Jesus Free Computer Geek, who wrote a very detailed book that's extremely easy to read, and it has illustrations called The Incoming Flood or The Coming Flood of AI, The Rise of the Nephilim.
Yeah.
I personally have read this book, and it is, as I mentioned, extremely detailed in the evidence that points to this beast system being run by the Nephilim, the disembodied spirits of these abominations that were created by the fallen mating with women of man. So I just wanted to plug his book and his channel. He's an amazing guy and extremely knowledgeable. He worked for NASA for a very long time. He is very aware of how the cogs in the machine work. So if you guys get a chance to either purchase that book, you can get it on Amazon, or you can go on his personal website, which I do believe is titled after his book, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But you can also get an audiobook version if you don't want to purchase the book. There's an audiobook version of that. But it helps you to understand a lot of what we even talk about when it comes to the AI or the ghost in the machine.
David happens to have an extreme knowledge of that area because of his work history. He was, I think he was actually employed with NASA
Yes.
for quite a while. And
He even went to Antarctica.
Yeah. And of course, I guarantee you, they have made him sign NDAs back before he was realizing who he was dancing with. And so there's things that if he talks about publicly could be a problem for him. But the things that he does talk about in that book are coming from a person that worked at NASA. And he's a literal, I don't like using certain titles and things, but the man is really smart. And he is a man of God. As a matter of fact, he is the one that gave me the PC that we're using right now to run this show on 10 platforms all around the world. And that he actually gave me one first, and it broke. We don't know what went wrong, but it broke. So he gave me another one. And that's the kind of man we're talking about. You know, first time he drove all the way down here, like about 100 miles to come to me. The second time we met him halfway. And of course, David has been on the show here several times. If you're not familiar with David, his name of his YouTube channel is Jesus Freak Computer Geek. And that pretty much sums it up. He is definitely both of those. And so check him out. His book is available on Amazon, and it is called The Flood of AI. Is that right, Shannon?
The Coming Flood of AI. The rise of the Nephilim.
Yep, there you go. Yep, you can find it. And I can guarantee it'd be worth the read. All right, so let's see. What do we want to do now? We want to, get to a couple of things. One, tinfoil hat contest.
Yay!
We had more people enter. However, for whatever reason, they didn't get their photos to me. And I've been putting things off, trying to give people time to get things to me. And I bet you if I went and checked right now, I'd have one that I don't know about. And it would make me feel really bad because I just hope I'm not leaving anybody out that managed to finally get their photos in. It's just there's so much to do when you do what I'm doing. It can be a little overwhelming quite often.
Hi, Rage Against the Machine 734 or 7434. I can talk. I just wanted to say hi.
I'm looking. Yeah, what's up, Rage Against the Machine? I'm looking real quick one more time to make sure none's come in the last 24 or 48 hours that I happen to have missed. And I don't think so. I think I got what I could get, as you could say. So, all right. So we've got 3 different viewers for the viewer contest. Now, Super Dave's in that contest too, but Super Dave is also part of our team here. But he's not on air, and it really doesn't give him, he's not on air through our network yet. But he, we can wish for things. But I'm going to include him in both contests. Okay. So he's in the contest for the Supernatural team and in the contest for the viewers. And so we've got him. We've also got Cindy C. Let me see if I can't pull it up here so we can actually see what we're doing. Let me pull up the folder. We've got Cindy C. We've got Vivid S. Okay, her name is, or it's VIVID, Vivid S, Cindy C, and Super Dave that are going to go up against each other not against each other, but we're all having fun here. It's all this was all ever about. And we're going to start the voting, but I'm going to show the photos real quick from each person. So let me do that. Let me pull this up here. That's strange. Okay. We'll have to look into that. Now, this is Cindy C. So this is her incredible hat that she made.
I love it. I love it.
This is Cindy C. Okay. And let's see. She submitted a couple of different photos. Let me show one that's a little different here.
I love it. She took a picture on her front porch like I did. I was like, girl after my own heart.
Oh, I believe I can fly. Comes to mind a little bit.
I believe I can touch the sky.
That's right. And then we've also got, that's Cindy C. Okay. Then let's look at Vivid S. Let's look at her very colorful
I love
shiny
the
hat.
decor. I love the decor.
This is Vivid. So the other one was Cindy. This is Vivid. And I'm going to start a poll here in just a minute after we get through that's going to be on the Logic Before Authority channel. So if you want to be able to vote in the poll on the Logic Before Authority channel, you need to go over there. So if you're listening, wherever you're listening from, if you're live right now and you're listening, you'll go over to the Logic Before Authority channel and you can vote in the poll. The voting will only be able to be happening while we're live. And if you're watching the rebroadcast premiere of this tonight at like 8, 9 o'clock, technically you can't vote that time, but you will have another chance on Monday to vote again as well, because we're going to vote today and we're going to vote Monday and then announce the winners this coming next Friday. Okay. So now let me get another image of our contestant here.
Yay. Do we also have the network team pictures?
Yeah.
Are you going to show those? Because they get to vote on those, right? Like, we're not voting for ours.
And here's a picture of the hat just itself. Looks like it could defend against something for sure.
Again,
very cool, very creative. Got all the nice flowers and everything on it. So that is Vivid's hat. Okay, and then we've got where have I got? There's this one that someone sent in, but we really can't. Yeah, that was St. John having a little fun.
St. John?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hey, what's up, St. John?
I asked him, I said, okay, St. John.
I mean, you did say for any.
Yeah, but I said, that looks a little bit like it might be AI. He was laughing, of course, and he said, yes. I said, well, We can't include that in technical
No, but
vote,
that was a good laugh.
but we can laugh at it. We can do that. And I've got Super Dave's photos, and question is what I do with them, because they're supposed to be right there in that folder. Gosh. Gonna have to apologize, but you guys gonna have to give me a second. Let me figure out why I don't have them in the right folder where they're supposed to be. Shannon, can you dance or do something for a minute?
Dance.
Or
If I
how about just
danced, I
talk?
don't think anyone could see me. I'm
That's
just
true.
throwing that out there.
Maybe just chit chat for a minute. And let me, because I can't do this and think and get this done at the same time, because I got to hunt these down, because Super Dave made an awesome hat and he's got to be included, or I'm just going to really mess everything up. Let me see here.
You know, Super Dave, on one of his last shows that I got to catch the end of, did a really awesome little karaoke song at the end, and I thought, what a great idea. I was thinking of throwing that out there every occasional Thursday. If anyone had like a karaoke praise song request, we could all sing together, even if you know I can't hear you. I'll feel you singing with me. It's just an idea to throw out there. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. No worries.
Okay. I see. Okay, I found something. Let me see. Just got so much information that flows through. It's various different sources. It sometimes becomes incredibly a lot. Okay.
Well, as I've mentioned before, I don't know how you and Roxy do it. I'm not.
It ain't all completely
not
easy.
gonna lie.
Believe it or not.
I think it's not even like there's a possibility that I could actually become tech savvy. I know it's a possibility. It might be a very low possibility, but it's a possibility. But my problem is the desire. You know, yeah, I'm already at odds so much sitting at this computer when I'm on these shows as it is. So it's like, I don't know how you guys do it. I would throw this computer off a cliff.
That's about where I'm at right this moment, thinking about it. All right, I found Super Dave's, but I've got to, because I can't recall how I ended up sending them to myself, so I have got to resend them to myself real quick. I apologize, guys. Like I said, I warn you right when you start with this show. This ain't entertainment. This is about as close as you're going to get, and we're pretty bad at it.
Hey, Stacy Salah, I trust me, I feel you. She says losing my eyesight, so can't read chat too well these days. Something used to. Oh, and then it. Oh, yeah, to use a magnifying glass. I am right there with you. I have a very hard time reading, and I still don't have glasses, which is my own fault. But I'm about ready to just get a magnifying glass myself, or those glasses that jewelers use that has the light on the end of the magnifying glass.
Right.
That would be fantastic.
It would help.
Yep.
And it would help too if I put these photos where I can remember where I put them. But for some reason, I didn't do a very good job of it. And that's driving me crazy. All right, so let me pull Super Dave's here. I've got his here now. I'm pretty positive I can pull him up real quick. And I'm sweating. It's hot in here. The sun is coming in the windows behind me, and I didn't put my fan in here today. Oh, there's Super Dave, looking sharp.
The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you. Little Beatles.
That would be Super Dave.
Yay! This is so much fun. I love the whole top hat aspect to it because, you know, there's that whole thing with the top hats and the Masons and all of that fun stuff. It's very symbolic.
Yeah.
With the little antenna.
This guy has like a propeller on top. Yep. Got like a propeller on top. Let's see. So our man Super Dave, there's his contribution. Apologize to keep y'all guys waiting. Shannon, I had not planned on showing ours today, so please don't make me, because I'm gonna have to dig those up too. So
okay.
we've got Cindy, we've got Vivid, and we've got Super Dave. Okay, let me make sure you guys remember which is which real quick. Okay, Cindy was this one. That's Cindy. Now, this is Vivid. That's Vivid. Okay. And then, of course, we have Super Dave. Okay. Now, I just started a poll in the YouTube chat on the Logic Before Authority channel. So I'll leave that up for the entire show. We'll check it towards the end here, which we don't have a ton of time today, actually, but we're going to try to get into real quick. We're going to try to get into this with Mr. T, the savior of the free world, and see if we can't just understand a little bit about what he means by "so it begins." Now, of course, we can look at what these guys say. You know, they're talking about this as Trump reacts to GOP's election day losses with cryptic post, and so it begins. Of course, this is the post they're talking about. Okay, and it's interesting. It has, at the time this was captured, it has 8.26 K likes, and that's a little quinkadink too. And we could look at this and understand what they're talking about, in relationship to their story of this. Or we can look a little deeper maybe and try to understand. See, the Lord of the Rings, if you recall, in the Lord of the Rings, there was a scene where it says, "So it begins," as you can see at the bottom of the screen there. So it begins. And so for a leader of the free world to say, "and so it begins," or "so it begins," is potentially very profound. Now, they've tied it to just a battle between the Democrats and the Republicans, which I see them as two wings of the same power structure system, because I believe that's the reality of it. So, but I wanted to look and see a little bit more as to what it might mean. So let's look at that just a little bit. Now, I can't help myself. I know that they use gematria to encode everything that they do. Okay. And so when I hear them come out with a new catchphrase, I'll typically go and look it up. And sometimes it tells me something. Sometimes it don't really tell me something, because I'm not a master of gematria. But I have been paying attention and looking at things when they come out with their sayings because they definitely want us to know this saying because it's repeated over and over and over in all of their different distribution systems where they broadcast. Okay. And so I ran it in here and we come up with the number 828. Okay. And right off, I immediately knew that that number was tied to the person who said it. If you come down and take a look at the results here of what it matches, because this is about matching, just like the Bible does with the Strong's dictionary, it uses numbers to match words or phrases in order to produce a definition. Okay. And it's similar in how that works. So in this case, the match is Donald Trump. And so it matches Donald Trump mathematically. And it's because his name has, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 syllables. And so it has quite a few syllables. Let's see what we're talking about here. 3, 5, 7, 10, like 13. Like 13 letters, excuse me. That to me tells me it's billions to one. It'd be like trying to hit the lottery for millions of dollars every day for a week. And so I know from my experience that this is a match for a reason. But why? Now it also matches other matches that are related to it are Ouroboros, because the number 8 represents the infinity, like an infinity symbol, the Ouroboros. Okay, it is basically the image or the shape of the number 8. And as we also know, the sun and the moon move in the heavens. If you take a photo every day at the same time, or even every week at the same time throughout a year, you're going to see that the sun will and you overlay those photos, you're going to see that the sun and the moon create a number 8, and both of them together are an 88. You may also know that the number 88 is associated with the Savior, a Savior, or the Savior. And you may or may not know that Trump sees himself as both. He sees himself as Apollo, the rider of the white horse, the one that brings the things that sting men out of the pit. And that's a whole long another story that I'm not going to go into today, although I may talk about that here soon. I've come to realize that Revelations 9:1, 9:2, 9:3, right in there, the white horse of the 4 horses, is actually a retelling of the same story of the locusts coming out of the pit. And we'll look at that real close one day. So we got Donald Trump's the match, Ouroboros. Feel free to jump in anytime, Shannon, too, and say whatever comes to your mind.
It's okay. You're on a roll.
Master Mason, Monkeypox, 0 Point, and a number of, we could look on and on and on, because there would be a lot of different matches. But let's look, if we can, and see if we make any sense out of some of this. So there's different ways when you know that a number or a code is being used, like it is in this case, because I'm sure it is. There's different ways you can look at it. One way, we can look at it like this, so 8, you got 828. You can look at it like 8 plus 2 plus 8 equals 18. Or it can also represent how'd you like to live here? Sorry about that, guys. We got some people around here that think loud mufflers are the coolest thing ever. And we got a guy next door that installs them on a regular basis. Anyway, so 8,
Good
2, 8,
times.
you got 8 plus 2 plus 8 is 18, or could also represent 666. And you could say, okay, you got 18, and I ain't making this up. This is what they do, okay? 1 plus 8 is a 9. 9, the final root number, symbolizes, of course, completion, enlightenment, initiation, like perfection, okay? And it also can be a number that represents the end or also a beginning. Okay, so it begins. It can also represent an ending and a new beginning starting, okay?
Hey,
And
Daniel, I gotta step away for just a second.
Okay.
Dogs are going nuts.
Okay, no problem. Go for it. And of course, 8 itself, the number of power, infinity, balance, and material mastery, suggests an endless loop. The 2 in the middle of it can represent like a mirror kind of thing, where you got 8 mirroring 8, but it also represents duality, like man and woman. You know, transhumanism is a big thing these days, and it could represent duality or a choice or a balance between the past and the future. So like the end ending and the new beginning. And let's see what else I got here that I want to mention to you about it. This was kind of interesting too. The Hebrew letter Chet has a value of 8. Okay, Hebrew letter Chet has a value of 8, and that word or that number, it symbolizes life or spirit, chai. Okay, and then you've got the letter Bet has a value of 2. All languages are encoded with numbers, like even Roman numbers, you know, and all languages are encoded like this. If you're not aware of this, well, welcome to the class. So Bet has a value of 2, and it symbolizes a house or a vessel. So it's kind of saying life or spirit with a 2 in between it, and then life or spirit again. Kind of like spirit dwelling in a vessel and returning to spirit again. Something along those lines, maybe. And of course, it could also allude to like double infinity. Okay. And in the case of Mr. T, of course, we know that he believes he is a master of MAGA, master of speaking. And so nothing he says is spoken without great contemplation and planning, for sure. If he does, you'll just never see it because they only show us what they want us to see. And a little bit of information here. It says Masons and Rosicrucians often use mirrored numbers like 121, 232, 818, or 828 represent reflection or duality reconciled, a key theme in alchemical transformation. And just so you understand, guys, I'm not going to be able to show you or tell you exactly what these guys mean by this. I can only theorize, and I'm doing that, but we'll do it here more in a moment. If you look at from a biblical perspective in a couple of different ways, one, look at the Strong's numbers that are related to the number 828, or maybe look at verses like Romans 828. All things work together for those who love God. Okay, and so, well, it is what it is. So you could also, I guess, look at it like it says here, a symbol of dual infinity forces or infinite forces, balanced by a central principle, the perfected initiate who perceives divine order in all things. And they certainly do look at it like this. They do believe that they've got this game that we call life. They've got it figured out. They've got it nailed down. They believe they have mastered it. And they've done a pretty good job of doing it. They've taken hundreds, if not really, truly thousands of years in order to do this. But there is a way out of all of this. And it is to be able to seek to know the enemy and to understand at a deeper level what is actually being said, what is actually going on. Okay? The Hebrew Strong's definition number, which is H828, it's referring to a Babylonian eunuch, chief of eunuchs of King Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, so it's referring to a proper name, which is, and I'm probably pronounced this wrong, Ashpenaz. Okay, and this was a Babylonian chief of the eunuchs of King Nebuchadnezzar. You see, because ultimately,
eunuchs.
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 Okay, eunuchs. Ultimately, see, Trump is not he appears to be like a king or a president or a ultimate leader, but ultimately he is not. There is others above him and also a God above that. And it's not the God that's in heaven. He's made it clear that he's not a Christian. He's even said it straight out.
It's interesting that this says chief of the eunuchs of the King Nebuchadnezzar, because, that's something that we face today with the whole
and a eunuch is someone who is castrated?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you can see the mirror of
it's kind
today.
Of saying like I'm the chief of the sterilized ones.
Although I would consider that more the O guy, but
say again?
I said I would consider that to be more the O guy in that department, but
the O guy.
That's just my.
You mean Obama?
Yeah.
Well, you got a point there too. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see if I see anything else there. No. Let's see. Now, we looked at it in the Hebrew Strong's definition. Let's look at the Greek. It says the word comes out to be Augustus. And it says a proper name or title of the first Roman emperor. So 828 in the Greek Strong's definition, we're talking biblical here, is Augustus. It means the title of an emperor. So it's interesting that Trump, see, and so it begins equals 828, but it also matches Donald Trump is 828. And he certainly feels what he seems to be doing when it comes to being like a emperor. He's taken on that persona of being like a world emperor kind of thing. He's flying around to different countries. Y'all guys don't need to fight no more. Y'all guys stop it. And of course, most people believe that that's because he's so good or so this or that. And they don't realize that the world is a stage and he is fulfilling a role that he's been put into, like central casting kind of role.
Right. Interestingly enough, right? The little man with the mustache, his little hand signal that was very popular. That's been a controversial thing yet again in the public eye, considering Elon Musk did that whole hand signal and all that kind of stuff, and equating it back to the little mustache man and his guys. But what people don't mostly realize is that came from ancient Rome. That was a Roman thing originally.
The hand sign?
The hand signal, yeah. That was a Roman, basically an ode to or worship of the Caesar. So, and interestingly enough, some of the new statues that have been erected throughout the nation are showing Roman figures and holding the fasci symbol, which is the bundle of sticks tied up with the axe in the middle. So that is another reference to Roman rule. So as you see, we are going back into that mode. And again, people equate it to the little man with the mustache, but this is much further back, and that's what is really kind of recycling through.
Got a little update on our poll. And this isn't final results, because we're going to vote again on Monday. Okay. And on Monday, I'll have the photos and everything for us, anybody who's participated when it comes to the show team, which Super Dave gets the double dip. He's special. I've determined that. I think you agree.
We all agree.
Yeah,
we all agree.
So, but y'all guys can probably see it yourself in the poll area, but for the sake of speaking it, we have, Super Dave's in the lead, quite a substantial lead at that. He's at 69%. Cindy C is at 21%, and Vivid S is at 10%. So Super Dave's kind of cleaning up at the moment, and that's pretty wild. That's amazing. But no congratulations yet. We still got to go through Monday, and then we'll bring all of it back together for the announcement of the winners and let you know how we're going to send out the gifts and make sure we be able to communicate with you so we know where to send it, that kind of thing. Because
I just kind of want to mention, because there aren't that many entrances. I cannot talk today. Wow, I'm so sorry. I'm all bleh. But anyways, considering there are only 3 contestants in this category, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to walk away with something. It's just, who gets the Ethiopian Bible, who gets the silver coin, who gets the anointing oil, and whatever else we have. So be encouraged.
Yeah. Yeah. Put it this way. Everybody's going to win. And in ways you don't even know about yet. And I'll be talking about. But everybody who donated to the Superthon last month, and everybody that participated in the tinfoil hat contest, there's going to be ways you're going to win or will benefit you, we'll say, that you'll be finding out soon enough. So, but yeah. Oh, Super Dave lost 1 point. He dropped to 67. Or 2 points. But he's doing good. But I think, let's see if there was, I know we wanted to kind of look at, this deal with Trump. And so it begins. And overall, what I would say is it's basically a signal of a transition point. And you could almost look at it like scenes, like if you were watching a play on stage, And if you needed a pivot point where you were going to switch from one scene to the next, and so it begins, would have to do with that. And because it being, Mr. T, the king of MAGA, he, the implications of it, the real world implications of it, should start manifesting themselves. And it's going to be a big show with quite the finale. But my advice is to make sure that you realize that, yeah, you're in this world right now, but you're not of it. No matter what happens here, it isn't the final curtain for any of us. So don't take what's going to be going on too seriously, especially when they start putting on that show in the heavens. Don't take it too seriously. It's going to be difficult because it's going to look really real, but don't take it too seriously is what I would advise for sure. And also, starting on the next show, I'm going to start reading, or should I say rereading, some old, not really old, but some stories from our first season of the Supernatural Show, where we had our first person who wrote in and told us about supernatural happenings that happened with them. And I'm going to start reading those things. You can submit yours by going on the website. Tell your story about what in the supernatural has happened to you in your life. And I'll read it on the show in one of the upcoming shows. And you can submit it by emailing it to tellmystory@TheSupernatural.Show, or you can go on the website right here, right under where it says TSS submissions. There'll be a little pop down and it says submit story. You can go there and submit your story, okay? Or you can email it to this right here if you want to, if that's easier for you for some reason. But what we're going to start doing is rereading some of these stories, these supernatural stories, because I want to encourage y'all guys to tell the things that have happened to you in your life. It's been long enough since we've been really reading these stories and stuff that I want to go back to it as part of the show. It'll only be a segment, you might say, of the show where we'll read like one story per show and encourage y'all guys to submit the truth. No matter how crazy it sounds, no matter how supernatural it sounds, we want to hear it. So submit your story so that way we can read it live on the show here, okay?
Speaking of stories or your testimonies, I am still offering the open forum for you guys to share your testimonies for Testimony Tuesdays, which of course will not interfere with the Roxy Files show on Tuesdays, but I did want to get your guys' testimonies out. And if you guys haven't
how are the options to submit them for you?
Just through the website. I mean, even if you just contact me or Daniel and submit it even through what we've already put up and just write testimony in quotations.
So you're specifically looking for testimonials.
Testimonials, okay. Right. And if any of you guys haven't had a chance to check out my testimony, which I started the channel off with Children of the Most High, not that I want to encourage you, but the Holy Spirit encourages you to go check that out, because there's a lot of prophetic things within that testimony that is occurring on a daily basis, and a lot of things that we talk about and reference is in that. And testimonies are very important. They are one of the most important things you can do for the kingdom of God, is share how you came to Jesus so others who feel that they are alone and might, get something out of
Yeah,
your personal
that's what
story.
this is about.
That's what it's about. And it's part of why we started asking for you guys to come and tell your supernatural stories. So all of us who see things with eyes that can see don't feel so alone and isolated. We all have the Holy Spirit within us and are on the path of discernment on an everyday basis. So, anyways, I'm not trying to shamelessly plug or anything. I just feel that our testimonies are important. And so, if you guys feel like sharing yours, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't had a chance to watch my testimony, it's very intense, but it is worth a watch.
Super Dave is asking us to show the hats one more time today. So let me do that. Okay, let me pull up the file right here. This was, so the poll is still going, and this was Vivid S. Is her hat that she created, which I think is pretty cool. What's so cool about it really is the fact that she participated. And I really dig those shades. If we had a shade contest, you'd knock it out of the park.
For real.
But that is Vivid S with her tinfoil hat. Us having a little fun with y'all guys. And then we also have Cindy C. Okay. And as you can see, she's one of the people in the poll that you can choose to vote for. So Cindy C. And let's see, I think I got one more other image here I can show. Cindy C. And then we have also, let's see here. We also have, oh, wait a minute. How'd that get in there?
Hey, I know that person. I know that hat.
You're not in the viewer contest. Get out of here. And we also have Super Dave. That is Super Dave's hat. His super hat. Or super tinfoil hat. Something like that, yeah. And he's got, as you can see on the top, he's got a little spinner up there, it looks like. And yeah, I'd like to hear Super Dave's story of how he came about to design it. Matter of fact, I'd like to hear that from everybody. Maybe you guys want to come on and tell us about it. So there are the hats, and y'all guys can vote in the poll for just a couple more minutes here. And while we finish up what we're doing, which I think I pretty much got everything covered, I did want to say thank you one more time for one person here. Where's it at? What am I looking for? It's there. You got to be on Logic Before Authority channel to see it. You have to be on the Logic Before Authority channel. It's the only channel. I can't run polls on 10 platforms at once. It's the one I can do it on that has the most people on at once. So if you jump over to the Logic Before Authority channel, you can definitely vote there. Let's see, where is my little thing that I'm looking for? I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, there it is. There was, just wanted to make mention of it because it's just the right thing to do. And that is that Kimberly G, after the show had went off air the other day, she did submit a 5th donation for the month go towards the Superthon. And so I wanted to say thank you to Kimberly And really thank you to all of you. It was a successful campaign. No, we didn't quite get where we wanted, but it's all in Father's hands. I can live with waiting to achieve the things that I need to achieve, like getting a new PC for the studio, because this one's maxed out. That's why you're not seeing our video. One thing I've learned in this life is how to be patient, and how important it is to know how to be patient. So with that, thank you to everybody that was here today. I know we had kind of a little loose format.
You want to say something?
Yeah, might as well. We've got 15 people signed up right now for the Angel Cruise. If you're not familiar with it, here you go. So the Angel Cruise is something we are trying to pull together. And the only way I get to go on any kind of a cruise is if I can get together a large enough group. The way the travel industry works is if I can pull together a big enough group, I get a free cabin. Because if y'all guys don't want to go or don't go, I don't go. But we do have 15, so we're pretty much there as to being able to likely pull it off. So that is awesome. And anybody that wants to know more about it, just go to TheSupernatural.Show, the website, and click on the Angel Cruise right here. And there's all the details and the sign up form. All it is a pre-registration. It doesn't lock you into nothing. It's just indicating to us that it sounds like fun. And the thought is that with all of the many, many, many times that I have had angels come to me throughout the years, especially by the water's edge, that if we wanted to get together as a group at some point in time, should we do a hotel? Should we do what? And I thought, why not a hotel on the ocean? so that we would be on the water at all times, and we could all sit out on the deck at nighttime and let the sun go down. And I just believed that they would show up. And I mean, it's amazing how many times I've seen them. But when I say show up, what I mean is show up close in the size of a Volkswagen, okay, right out in front of us. And I've seen it, and my word in my hand to the heavens, only my father can tell you that I've seen them actually, Shannon and her daughter, Miss Kim and her daughter, I've taken them to the ocean at nighttime and said, let's go see the angels. And they would come down with me, and poof, Volkswagen size orbs of light would show up right out over the water's edge in front of us many, many times. And so I'd like to go do it with y'all guys so you could see what I see. And it's really absolutely amazing, especially when they start showing off a little bit and showing some of the things that they can do, like flash and light up everything, or streak through the sky and leave what looks like electricity or pixie dust floating down all around, and all kind of amazing things. I even seen one cast a lightning bolt into the ocean. And so yeah, as real as it gets, believe it or not, the Angel Cruise. All right, guys, well, we're going to wrap up here and get out of here. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we love you. And thank you, Shannon, for being here. Thank you, Super Dave. Thank you, Super Mike. Thank you, Miss Kim. And even though you're not here, Roxy, thank you. And love all of you. Our family, or you guys are like family. And our Father in heaven loves you. And he reminds me to tell you, he wants to hear from you more often. You'll find your private place. Just talk to him. He's there. I love you. We'll see you next time on the Supernatural Show, and that will be Monday. If not sooner, you never know. Bye-bye for now.